Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 5, Go with the Flow, with your host, a Link speaker.
And Gemini Link.
In today's episode, we will cover the recent market crash, continue Chainlink dominance as the oracle of DeFi, and a go with the flow attitude in market trading. So, let's dive right into the episode. So, Gemini, what was your take of the market crash that we had on what was it, the 25th? Well, what was your reaction and kind of can you share with everyone what was going through your head?
Honestly, if I'm gonna be truthfully honest, I woke up that morning, I was very, very hungover slash drunk, I'm not sure. But as soon as I checked the charts, for me personally, it was a bit of a shock, but at the same time, you gotta stay calm in these times and just buy the dip, and that's what I did. I just went online and bought a few more Chainlink, added it to the stack, seen a lot more opportunities to buy into, but you can't you can't buy into everything all the time. But yeah, it was a nice opportunity, I think, and it was a healthy retrace from pretty much a pretty beautiful bull run that we've had over the past few days and weeks. So I think we
And
all
it's
knew
not
it
like
was
it's
coming.
over, right? It's not like the bull run's
Yeah.
over. This is just, as you were talking about, it's a healthy retrace. And so, I mean, Bitcoin dropped. Let's check out the charts real quick. It looked like it dropped from right around a high of 19,500 area, all the way back down to at the lowest point, 16,300. I mean, that's two and a half, $3,000 of just a straight drop before it's now consolidating in the mid to upper 16,000s. I mean, that's a huge drop in market cap. I read a few articles that was talking about over $80 billion in the course of a day and a half wiped from the market cap of all of crypto.
Yeah, I
So,
think I seen that as well about the how a lot of people getting liquidated with that drop as well. It was crazy.
oh yeah, there was all sorts of different types of attacks as well. Compound had an attack with a centralized price order as one of their centralized price oracles, and in fact, Sergey Nazarov, the CEO of Chainlink, was even talking about how any any company that is still using a centralized oracle for its price feeds is putting its users' funds in massive, basically at massive risk. And so it's just once again Chainlink coming out and saying, "Hey, we can solve this issue. Use us." And so, guys, as the name of the episode indicates, it's more of a go with the flow here during this week, right? So the market went down, consolidating in a new area. All the charts are indicating a very nice breakout in the future as we enter into the bull run of 2021.
Yeah, it was just from what you were saying before about the single oracle and the recent attacks as well. I think it's even though it's a real shame to see in the crypto space, it's also great exposure for Chainlink at the moment because it's just showing how much the DeFi projects need a company like Chainlink to provide the multi-service oracles for their systems, I guess, instead of, like you said, the single point and single data sources that they're actually using at the moment.
Well, and something that just doesn't make sense to me is when you have something like Chainlink that is so easy to integrate into your systems and is a very clear dominant player in the space. I'd love to see their arguments against using Chainlink, right?
Yeah.
Why would the company not want to use the best in the game who has consistently proven that they are the best in this space? Why would you not want to use them?
Yeah, and like even Chainlink God, he actually warned them about this problem before it even happened on the compound. So I'm not sure what it is that they're trying to gain from it. I'm sure there was connected with a Coinbase feed, was it? Do you know? I might be right there, but I heard it was from just a Coinbase feed, which we all know is very temperamental at the moment and has been for a while. But I think it really needs to get sorted because it can't keep going on like this. I don't understand why they, like you said, why they're not choosing an Oracle provider which has the reputation and the trust and the transparency that's already out there? Why would they keep trying to create their own, I guess?
Well, I think it's honestly and this is just my guess. It's not based on any research, but my guess is a lot of companies are comfortable with the systems that they've been using, right? And so maybe when they launch, they have been using this one Oracle and it hasn't failed them yet. So why switch? But a lot of these guys may have to learn the hard way. They may have to get hacked or to experience some sort of data breach or in general failure or DDoS attack in order to actually say, oh hey, Chainlink has had these same attacks. It has not failed. This one has. Now we switch. So
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that people's money is lost, and I think the companies should have to account for that. But it's very clear that Chainlink is becoming the more dominant player, and I think that honestly leads perfectly into our next segment of the show. Is if some of you guys have not seen, Chainlink released an article that is named 77 smart contract use cases enabled by Chainlink, and holy crap, I mean, it talks about an amazing abundance of things. And to just to list a couple of the bullet points that it has in the beginning, it says decentralized finance, external payments, gaming and randomness, insurance, enterprise systems, supply chain, utilities, authorization and identity, and government. Holy crap, that's a lot.
Yeah, there's quite a few there, I think.
Tons, right? And it's just reiterating, hey, this is what Chainlink can be used for. And one of the really cool use cases that we haven't talked about that it kind of goes over in this is lottery systems, right? So in lottery systems nowadays, you have a system that is centralized by one company, right? That is then taken, and then you technically have a lottery commission, and it's supposed to be super up to par, but we don't get to see that. We don't get to see that transparency. Imagine the lottery systems of the world switching to Chainlink, which we know for a fact is 100% random, right? Because they have their VRF system, which is gamified randomness, right? And so using that system, you would be able to have an entirely fair, completely random lottery system, all in the blockchain, which would be amazing.
Yeah, like even for me personally, when you hear that, like I used to play a lot of online poker, and I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes just had the feeling that there was just, you just have that feeling that like it's fixed and like it's
Yes.
not actually like giving you the correct cards, but because I play poker in real life and played it online, and it's completely different online. So if I could see a company that uses Chainlink as the verifiable randomness for the software, you'd just be more inclined to want to go with that company, I guess.
No, yeah, 100%. And especially when you have a system that is so diverse and continuously being updated, and they have systems like that VRF system, but they also have it to where it's completely random gameplay. So you know how in some games where it says, hey, this sword has a 50% chance of hitting, right?
Yeah.
And some of them will get hacked or exploited because they'll have just the right percentage amount that it's able to be predicted, right? And with this system, that's impossible. It's completely and totally random, and that's extremely attractive to people wanting to do any sort of gameplay or percentage chances. And so I see Chainlink once again becoming a very dominant player in not only the lottery space and all of those types of industries, but also with gameplay, right? Continuously integrating into the gameplay industry, and more and more of prediction markets, of the casino games, of the state lotteries. I mean, this is exciting, man. Just continuing to see Chainlink say, hey, these are all of the amazing applications that we can be used for.
Yeah, for sure. It's just a start. Like we always say in each show, we every week that we do one of these, we're learning something new. Well, I am personally learning something new and just seeing how many integrations with the real world we can actually connect with. And I think obviously blockchain is the future for transparency and just to trust a lot more companies. And I think Chainlink is the Oracle provider, which is going to live up to the blockchain standards as well for each of these companies.
The entire space is going to, right? Like that's the level of a juggernaut that Chainlink is very quickly turning into. And I honestly think it's up to us as the community, as the crypto community, to hold accountable anyone that's not using Chainlink. Ask, hop into their Telegram channels and say, hey, why are you guys not using Chainlink? It's extremely easy. They lay it out on their website on how to integrate into them, and it's extremely easy. And I've talked to developers that have said, hey, this is so easy to integrate into our systems, there's no reason not to. So I honestly think that that's up to us. What do you think, Gemini?
Yeah, it's an interesting topic, really, isn't it? Because like we were saying before, you don't really understand why they're not choosing this platform when it's there out for them to use. And the more companies that do adopt Chainlink as the provider, the cheaper it becomes for each one of these companies as well. So I think it's just a matter of time. With all these mistakes that are happening and all the hacks and the liquidity pools that keep dropping, I think more and more people are going to start to realize that they're probably going to realize that they need to get Chainlink on board with them and their companies. Otherwise, they're just going to end up losing custom and they're going to end up losing a lot of respect as well. So
What do you think is the next step for some of these companies that are not using Chainlink? Do you think that we as a community, go on to our favorite platforms that are not using them and talk to the devs? Do you think that it's some of these people are just going to have to end up getting hacked or price feed manipulated in order to actually move forward? I mean, what's your thought process on that?
I think maybe a good question to ask them is why you're not using Chainlink, number one, and then number two, going, have you learned anything from this mistake? You've just got to. I don't know if it's our jobs to do that because then obviously we won't be able to stack more link at this beautiful price. So I think if people know that Chainlink is there now, you know what I mean. You can't miss Chainlink. It's everywhere. Like it's in the top 10. It's number 6 now, which is it number 6 still or number 5? Moving
We
up
can,
and down through that.
yeah,
But
up and down
anyway,
for this market.
I think people will start to adopt it in their own time. Whenever these new companies are going to come out and these new tokens and new coins, there's going to be more of a reason for them to want to join Chainlink just to, like you said, get the trust that you want within your company, knowing that it's a trustworthy source, I guess.
Agreed.
What about you?
Well, one of the things my thought process is kind of going through my head here is, you know, it's often the community of a lot of these big companies, these cryptos, even the smaller market cap ones that have a lot of sway, right? And I think personally that it honestly is our responsibility as a community to demand that the platforms that we are using are being secured by the best oracle in the space, which is Chainlink. So me personally, as an investor and a trader, right? When I'm looking into a project, if I see that they are using Chainlink, instantly I am more interested in that project, right? Because now I know, hey, if for example, if I want to stake my funds, if I want to use their platform, I know now that, hey, that portion is not going to be manipulated. And so
Yeah.
if I can go into their telegrams and say and ask their devs, hey, why are you guys not using Chainlink, and then rally up some support in that telegram, and it actually affects change, that's just one more project onto Chainlink. And if we as a community can continue to do that, eventually it will just, I think, create a wave so powerful that no one in the space will want to use anyone else.
Yeah, and I think the wave's just getting bigger and bigger now from that event that's just happened. Like you said, with the compound, this is just the start of the tidal wave to come now, because they're going to lead by example with all these hacks and manipulation, pretty much for the in their oracles and in their coding. So it's going to be interesting to see these people. I guess just not learn a lesson in a way, but just understand a little bit better what it is they need to do.
Agreed. So what's your thought process moving forward with the next month and a half, 2 months, with all of the different price movements coming? Because obviously we're in a dip here, but
Yeah.
where are you seeing some of our support lines? Kind of moving on to the next part of the episode, right? Where are our support lines for current price movement, and where do you see the price movement going over the course of the next month?
Yeah, well, I've just been watching it on the hourly chart recently, and it's just been bouncing off a like around the $12 area. It's been kind of got a nice support from that area. About to test it for the third time, maybe tonight, and it's interesting to see what's going to happen. If we see some bullish action again, I think we're gonna have to obviously climb back up to where we dropped from, which was at around 40. Well, a big drop at around 48. Sorry. So that's one of our big resistance. But if we go the other way, we're gonna probably end up testing that support line, which is around $11.41. So we'll see what happens. It's quite difficult to predict this right now, isn't it? But I think we're on still on a beautiful uptrend, and we're still bullish in this. It's just a short correction, and I do believe we're going to break past our all-time high before the end of the year, to be fair.
I have first of all, I totally agree with that. We have some interesting support lines in the 14s, and if we go to the opposite direction and Bitcoin says, goes back down to that $14,000 support that it has, we could see $10 Chainlink again. That's just completely dependent on Bitcoin, right? But I have a hilarious story to add to this portion here. So I've been trying to get a friend of mine is one of my brother's friends and just a close friend of ours into Chainlink. And I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm like, hey man, you should totally get in. We're on the rise. Let's wait for a dip to get in. And he's like, bro, no, I'm not getting in. It's going to correct back down to the $11 range, and I'll get in then. I was like, so where are you basing your information off of? He's not into crypto at all. He apparently had Googled Chainlink price predictions, and got to like the third page of Google and found this dude, and based all of his opinions off of what this dude was saying. And so I was like, okay, hey, I hope you're wrong, but let's see what happens. And then he texted me when we were doing the drop the other day. And he said, hey, it's happening. I was like, yep, I'm watching it. I see it. It's just, to me, so funny that someone that's not into the crypto industry found this guy that predicted what's happening currently, listened to it, and was right.
Oh my, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, because you can draw lines, and you can look at the market, and you can look at the candlesticks, and you're like, yep, oh, this is looking nice, and then boom, right, just a big red candle. You're just like, okay, that's the crypto space.
and something that didn't help is, the CEO of Coinbase released an article saying, hey, we believe that the U.S. The U.S. government is looking to add a very pesky regulation, right? And when he released that quote, that's honestly when we saw that massive drop was
I don't trust
right
him.
then. I don't trust him either.
No.
I honestly think it's a lot of FUD, and he said it was based on rumors, right? And so that's one of the main reasons we're experiencing it. Now, today's Black Friday. Historically, we've had very poor price action in the past on Black Friday. However, I don't think that we would have seen something this bad without the Coinbase article, or the CEO of Coinbase releasing that article. What do you think?
I mean, that's I've actually not seen that article, but I mean, Do you think there'd be a lot of people that really believed him and footed out and selling all the Bitcoin at that time? I don't know. It could be a coincidence, but it could also play a factor in it, like many other things.
I,
But
I have this. I think it definitely had something to do with it for sure.
well, if it did, Brian, you need to sort your shit out because you're upsetting a lot of people. I don't know how that guy's not been arrested yet.
I don't know either, but we will let authorities figure that portion out.
Well, why don't we take action as a community on the crypto? We're getting manipulated by the man.
Massively manipulated. The whole market took a tank, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah,
I haven't seen a crash like that in a minute. That steep, that fast. The thing that was shocking to me about it is how fast it happened. I mean,
yeah,
I was at a Friendsgiving with Blake, and we're sitting on the couch and just watching it go lower and lower and lower and lower, faster and faster.
wow.
It was
Um, it's,
it was crazy.
it's one of them things that you really have to kind of get used to in a way with
That's a good
trading
point.
cryptocurrencies and honestly being around this kind of market because the longer this goes on, the bigger the dips and the bigger the pumps are going to be. So it's going to be you're going to have red days where you're down quite a lot of money, but you're also going to have days where you just see the green and you just see your account double, triple, and you're just like, holy shit.
I'm
Then
excited
then
for
that
that.
I'm still trying to figure out, like many other people maybe, is like we spoke about in the last episode, is how to take profits and when to
Yep.
take profits. Because imagine if you like your friend who predicted the top of this and was like, right, I know it's going to go from 15 to 12 overnight, bang. But do you know what? So many people probably did know that, and obviously there's a lot of people that predicted this because amount of a sell-off is by a collective of whales, I think.
Oh yeah, huge firms. That's the only way something like that happens is either coordination from firms or just a bunch of firms all selling at once.
Yeah, but the thing for me is no matter what, I can't actually like even think about selling my Chainlink, to be fair. Like that's why I need to, get like yourself a separate little trading thing going on where you can just leverage a little bit of your money, to try and predict this stuff. But it's so easy, like you say, to get liquidated if you don't fully know what you're doing.
Yep. Or you take stupid risks.
Yeah, well. This is why it's fun and exciting. Where else do you see charts like this? You don't.
No, definitely not. Definitely not in the stock market. And so it's definitely going back once again to the name of the episode. It's definitely a go with the flow week, guys. This is. I think we're going to see some very high volatility coming into the first month of December. We have Ethereum 2.0 launching on December 1st. They have the green light with that. They have enough Ethereum staked. They are full launch for Ethereum 2.0. So I think we see some very, very interesting price action within the next 3 or 4 days with Ethereum and Chainlink. And when Ethereum was doing its last pump, when it was getting up into the mid 600s, it was dragging Chainlink along with it. Right along with it, almost same level of percentages of increase too. So I think if we see Ethereum go mental with a Ethereum 2.0 launch, I think we see Chainlink being dragged along right along with it, regardless of what Bitcoin's doing. Not necessarily regardless, because of course it's going to have some level of effect on it. But I think if Ethereum's going to go skyrocket, I think Chainlink definitely follows. What do you think?
What day does it change to when Link drops, Bitcoin drops? When does that happen? Maybe everything's following Chainlink. You never know.
Oh, wouldn't that be a beautiful future? Like
Yeah.
Chainlink is one of the main dominant market movers. That'd be fantastic.
Oh man, honestly, it's not far away.
I don't think so either. I think it's honestly a lot closer than most people think, especially with how much Chainlink is being integrated into the DeFi space. Right? It's it's honestly mind-boggling. Seeing this article, honestly, guys, I know we didn't cover it a lot. We didn't want to get into a super technical episode, kind of once again going with the flow. But check it out. It's 77 smart contract use cases for Chainlink. Just reading through that makes me even more bullish for Chainlink. As much as crazy as that may sound, right? We have a podcast for Chainlink, and obviously we're Chainlink Marines. But I mean, just read through it, guys. It's worth the 45-minute read.
Definitely.
So
I was gonna ask you a question.
yeah, of
I was
course.
gonna say to you, what is it? What do you find that helps you on days like that? You know, when you wake up and you see like obviously a big dump in the market, and you just see a lot of your coins not negative, but down. And how do you? Because a lot of people probably have never experienced it, or have only experienced it a little bit. You know, is the ways that you kind of deal with it better?
Oh yeah, that's a great question, man. The honestly, for me personally, it's setting the right mindset. So I listen to motivational videos, music, positive uplifting music, draw. Right, I take away the emotion and try to set the right mindset for the day. Because if today is going to be a red day, right? Today is the day you buy, right? The red days, you buy the dips. And so that's where you buy and you just sit back, relax, play some video games, drink you some beer if you need to drink some beer, smoke a blunt, whatever you need to do to just set yourself away from the emotions of that day. That's it. And,
Right.
and once you can do that, then you're already a step ahead of a lot of these degen traders out there.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. Just gotta look at it as a buying opportunity, and if you can't actually, like some people like myself, pretty much can't really keep buying every single dip. I'm quite all in at the moment, so it's been a bit of a bumpy ride. You just gotta, like you said, just sit back, relax, take a day away from it. If you do feel like you're getting a bit emotionally attached, and if you are getting a little bit down or stressed from it, I find just taking yourself away from meditation helps as well. I know a lot of people. I did a tweet the other day asking how many people do meditate, and there was quite a few, but there was also a lot that really said no. And I do think it's a massive helper for anyone who needs to just calm the brain, because my brain is, like in my name, a Gemini brain, and I've got many different voices and ideas going through my head all throughout the day. So take a good 10-15 minute break and really just ground yourself again. But or you can roll a fat blunt. That usually helps too.
Always helps. Always.
But yeah, it's an interesting time, and if you do feel like you're a bit over leveraged, I recommend definitely taking some profits out. If you've got to just be a bit smarter with your money, you know what I mean, and you've got to really respect the volatility in this crypto market, because it's a beast.
Big beast, especially entering into a bull market, guys. I mean, these types of dips and spikes are going to be more and more common in the coming year, guys. So if you can train yourself now to get used to them and to see red as a discount, right? I mean, that's honestly what this is. Entering into a bull run, when you see a 18, 20, 25% drop, that is now 20, that difference, right? 18 to 25% cheaper of whatever the crypto that you're watching is, right? And so that's honestly just the next step there. And other than that, it's just going with the flow of the market and going with the flow with what Bitcoin's doing and Ethereum's doing. And if you can read those right and set your right mental state, right, you're golden. So
Yeah, you've got to have a strong mind, I guess. You've got to really focus on that.
agreed. Well, guys, I know this is, a little bit. Well, before we do that, Gemini, do you have anything else you'd like to chat about? I know we were talking about keeping this episode nice and short.
This has been a fun episode. I mean, unless you've got any questions or anything, I'm good to go.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, this is a little bit of a shorter week. We're big anticipation for next week, guys. I think next week's episode we're gonna have a lot of really fun content to talk about as far as what's happening with Ethereum 2.0. How is that affecting Chainlink? How's the Chainlink community responding to hopefully a very green week next week? So let's have some fun. Let's make some money. Hold your bags, and I'm definitely looking forward to episode 6.
Sounds exciting. I can't wait to learn more about F2 as well. To be fair, that sounds very interesting. So yeah, thanks for listening to the end. If you got this far, we appreciate you.
We do, and please make sure to follow us on social medias. Our Twitter page is Linkcentric at Linkcentric, and also you guys will be able to see our Twitter handles as well. So thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your days.